Hey guys, and welcome to Pretty Eyes. My name is Lavana. You already know the drill to this. So if this is your first time watching the show, please hit that bell, subscribe so you can get future notifications. Also, this show is called Pretty Eyes the Show. This show is based off of domestic violence survivors' life after. So if this is your first time tuning in, basically this show is about empowering battered women or men, people that have been in abusive relationships or people that have came out of relationships and they just don't know how to move forward. So I am here. It is my duty to encourage you to move forth, surround yourself around beautiful, wonderful people, and just have a very positive mind. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the abuse and what it makes you feel like when you were actually in the abuse or after you came out of the abuse, the feelings that you had. So the first thing, as I was doing some research, I would like to talk about when you're going through abuse, you start to feel very down on yourself, very depressed. You feel like, why is this happening to me? Is this my fault? Did I do something wrong? The issue is it's not you. So let's just get that up front. It is not you. You're not the issue. It is the abuser. The abuser has something that is going on within them. You know, I've talked about this plenty of times. And a lot of times it's started from childhood situations that they've never handled. So a lot of times they never got counseling or never got help. So they take it out on the person that is next to them. Most of the time it's going to be the girlfriend, the wife, the husband, the boyfriend, the fiance. So as I always state that this show is not just for women, this show is for men as well. And today I was supposed to have a very special guest, but she couldn't make it in town, but that's okay. So I'm going to have someone else also next week, and I will have a special treat for you guys. So please always stay tuning in every Thursday because I try to have sometimes just myself talking or sometimes it's going to be, you know, a special guest. The next thing about the feelings that you feel when you are being abused is, how can I get out of this? How can I move forward? What can I do? Should I tell someone? So I always say in all of my series to make sure that you tell someone, whether that's a family member, coworker, cousin, whoever is a person that you talk to and that you can confide in, make sure you talk to these people because someone may be that light in your life that could help you move on to the next step. And at every show I always end up leaving a domestic violence hotline number. So sometimes this may be too serious, you know, for people to want to tune in. If this is not for you, turn it over to someone else that it can be very beneficial for. Another thing, feelings that you feel very isolated. You also feel very like torn, you know, torn within. And a lot of times when you start to feel that way, it's best to try to get out of the situation first of all. And if you're already out of it, you know, I always say that's the best thing for you. If you don't know how to get out of it, there are plenty of resources. There's counseling. There's all kind of advocates, you know, different centers that you can speak to someone about how to get out. There's shelters that are in place if you don't have anywhere to go. And right now, you know, we just had a lot of bad weather going on, you know, with a bad snowstorm. A lot of people were out without power and water. So if that is something that you had to endure, also being with an abuser, you know, there's a lot of different agencies right now that are willing to help families. Or someone that maybe needs to get out of that type of situation so you don't even be in that at all, especially being in somewhere with no water and no lights and with an abuser. That's just not a good combination. So another thing, different feelings that you may feel is that you're not wanted, you may feel unloved, and just always know that you are loved. You're loved by different people that you may not even know look up to you. You may have admirers, you may have children, and maybe nieces, nephews, just different people that come across in your path that they might look up to you. So never feel like you're unloved, never feel unwanted, because I always state that there is love on the other side of being in an abusive relationship. Another thing is, if you feel too isolated or you're starting to feel depressed or you just don't know which direction to go, seek some psychological help. You know, seek an actual doctor that you can speak to or someone that could maybe prescribe you medication if that's what you think you need. I also tell you guys all the time that I was also a domestic violence survivor. My situation happened over 20 years ago. So it is never too late to tell your story. I really want to empower and really hope that I can encourage someone to get out of that kind of situation if you're in it. We all living in a very kind of a weird world right now. And some days may be happy for some people, and some days may be very sad. So if you notice that someone is being sad or not really at their best that they can be, lend out the helping hand. Speak to someone, be kind. Even if you're in a grocery store, if you see a person that is elderly walking down the street and they need help, or someone that's off to the side of the road with a flat tire, stop your car and help them, because those kind of good deeds come back to you as well. And you never know what a person is going through. Just because a person may be elderly or they may not look like you and I, or they may have had a different walk of life, doesn't mean that they weren't in an abusive relationship. Some things happen to people early on in life and they don't know how to get themselves back to their normal self. So in previous shows, I've talked about, loving on yourself, surrounding yourself around the goodness, things that are going to draw the best out in you. So if you're feeling down or depressed, or you have felt that, being in an abusive relationship, get yourself out of that situation. There's no need to stay there, especially if you're feeling unloved. And if you're feeling unloved, you're definitely with the wrong individual. And remember, this show is all about smiling, being positive, empowering someone to be encouraged, to be uplifted to someone. And I always tell y'all that the book of Psalms helped me get through. So hopefully the Bible will be something that can help you reach the source that you're trying to get back to. Also, when I was in my abusive relationship, I remember having a lot of feelings of, I'm too good for this. This is not what I'm here on earth for. So a lot of times we hear those small voices, and that's the Holy Spirit speaking to us, telling us, you're not supposed to be in this. You know that this is wrong, what's happening to you. You know that you didn't do anything to deserve these things to happen to you. So you got to wisen up. You got to strengthen yourself. You got to set up, fly right, and get yourself encouraged and move forth so you can be the best you that you can be. That's what it's all about. And another thing, when you are in an abusive relationship, some of those feelings, once it's all over, sometimes you still have flashbacks about different things that happened to you. When those things occurred, you didn't know how to handle it, but you got out of it. But never take yourself back to the moment of the worst thing that happened to you. Just always remember that you got out of there, and now you got to have a plan A and a plan B to keep moving forward. So I just want to say that I love you guys. Always show pretty eyes, because pretty eyes is something that is after you came out of abusive relationship. Sometimes people are still saying, yeah, I'm happy, or I'm okay. That was a bad situation. I'm out of that now, but then they're still sad within. So always try to uplift yourself. Always try to, get up first thing in the morning, read your word, talk to yourself in the mirror, whatever it is you need to do for yourself to build yourself up. Always be happy. Try to make sure you laugh. Find something to laugh about, because laughter is so good for the soul. That's something that's going to just help you out. It's going to build you up. It's also going to build character, and you won't be depressed or feeling low on yourself. So, it is now, we're in March already. It's a whole year after we just got out of been in the pandemic. We're still in it. And, different things are happening all around us. And I know a lot of people probably think that domestic violence is like the lowest thing that's probably important, but it's really not, because people die from this every day, men and women. And I just want you guys to be encouraged. I love you very much. And if you are a survivor, thumbs up. Hit me up in the comment section, because the more people that involve themselves into a positive situation, once they've already came out of it, you can help someone else. You can empower someone else to get out of that situation. It's just very, very important to me. And like I always tell y'all, I feel it's my duty to get on here every Thursday and give you a piece of myself, so that way I can express to you what happened to me as well. Even though it was a long time ago and I'm not in that situation anymore, It's just the different channels of life that you have to take so you can get to a certain point in life. That way you can get back to yourself and be happy again and show those pretty eyes. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to come on real fast tonight, tell you how much I love you. Stay encouraged. Always put God first. And next week, I will have a special guest, and I have a special treat for you the week after. So, guys, just be ready. Please stay tuned in. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe. Hit that bell if you haven't already. And remember, there is love on the other side. Don't be weary. Don't be worrying about stuff that you can't take care of. Just get yourself out of that situation. And if you're out of there already, that's awesome. I just want to say have a good night, guys. I'll see you next Thursday. Put God first. And remember, show those pretty eyes. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you next week.